We are living through an emergency situation unlike anything that most of us have experienced in our lives. It's a global situation, and most of us were not prepared for it. After all, I'll tell you, as a digital nomad family, I certainly didn't travel with an N95 mask in my suitcase. I'm gonna guess you didn't either. And yet, here's some truth. There will always be emergencies that require us to pivot, get creative, and change plans. And there are basic levels of emergency preparedness that we can do to help find our way out when things get dicey. So in this quick video, I'm going to show you 4 tips from my Freedom Evolution program to ensure you feel more prepared for the next major or minor emergency that hits your world, or the whole world. Preparedness tip number 1. Travel with your most important documents. There are some situations for which there is no replacement for the physical copies of your vital documents. Birth certificate, passport, driver's license, marriage license, visa paperwork, medical prescriptions, etc. There's situations and places where nothing will replace having the real thing, the original document. So travel with them and ensure you have as many options as possible, because you're prepared if you have to show up at an embassy or talk to an authority about extending your visa. On travel days, those physical documents should be carried in your carry-on bag as close to your person as possible at all times. However, you may also want to have photocopies of all of them in any other bag you have, or swap photocopies with your travel partner. Additionally, it can be smart to have digital copies backed up to an encrypted place in cloud storage, or a second official copy or photocopy left with a family member or a friend back home. Basically, these are docs that, if missing, could create the biggest headaches. So let's embrace some redundancy here. Preparedness tip number 2. Learn the 3-2-1 rule. Backing up our digital information can be equally important to having backups of your vital documents, because for most location-independent entrepreneurs, our digital information is our livelihood. Our businesses and our lives are in those files, and most of us have experienced the catastrophe of a crashed hard drive or a stolen laptop at some point. However, not all of us have learned how to make those incidents become minor bumps rather than major life shakers. So this is where you benefit by learning the rule of 3-2-1. Your digital information should be stored at all times in 3 locations: 2 locally and 1 in the cloud. That's the advice of data security experts, and I wholeheartedly agree. What that means is that your computer's hard drive is 1 copy. Then a portable hard drive that you travel with and you use to back up your computer at least once a week is your second local copy. Finally, using a cloud backup service for your computer, like Carbonite or Backblaze, becomes your safety net. Those services can virtually back up your files continuously whenever you're online, and they can be a lifesaver. When your business and your life is reliant on digital information, it makes so much sense to take extreme care with it. Preparedness tip number 3. Embrace flexibility and resiliency. Sometimes the hardest part of emergencies, major or minor, is the emotional impact and waves that they cause. It's reality. We're human, and the emotional toll is real. Certainly, the global shutdown we've all experienced has rocked many of our worlds. Things that we had easily taken for granted aren't available or called into question. Everything from wondering whether we'll be able to travel back to see our families anytime soon, to being able to buy toilet paper at the grocery store. Nothing is a given these days. So yes, we need to grieve our changed plans, the removal of options that always felt available, and acknowledge the human cost that this change has created in our daily lives. And alongside that, we can recognize that we're all being given an opportunity to find even greater well springs of flexibility and resiliency inside ourselves. When everything seems frightening, confusing, overwhelming, or panicked, that's when we have the chance to become our own hero. We love to cheer on the hero in the movies who shows the courage to do something that's unbelievably challenging. We have to remember that courage isn't the lack of fear, it's choosing to act in spite of fear. It's looking straight into the thing we fear and then taking the first step forward, then taking the next step. So that's your challenge. When the world turns on its head, your plans are getting canceled, your clients have ended their work, you're about to overstay your visa and you're not sure what that's going to mean, start by asking yourself this question. What's one thing I could do today that would move me forward? In the Freedom Evolution, I teach how to weave empowering questions like that one into your everyday life. But this one question can move you out of feeling like a suffering, struggling victim and back into focused action. The first steps don't need to be huge. They just need to put you back into motion. With motion comes inertia. One step begins to follow another, and that inertia becomes a force that will keep you moving forward and get you out of whatever this situation is even more quickly. Preparedness tip number 4, practice presence. While we may not like our current situation, and our previous tip was about finding our path forward, the true wisdom in any emergency situation comes from becoming completely present, just being here right now. If there's anything that the survivors of the coronavirus have been teaching us, it's the value of this breath and the next. Just being able to take a breath in and out is a gift that we too easily take for granted. With creativity, commitment, and curiosity, we can find our way through whatever challenge happens to show up in our lives, provided we just keep breathing. So, just be present, here in this moment with whatever is showing up for you. Find gratitude for the deep breath that you can take, and then get curious. What's the one thing I could do today that would move me forward? There's magic in that question. So, Freedom Lover, what are you going to choose to do today? Let's get started.